So Creed 3 is the first entry in the Creed franchise to not include the character of Rocky, which does make sense story-wise considering how Creed 2 concluded. Behind the scenes, there's been a lot of drama as it pertains to Sylvester Stallone's involvement or lack thereof in this movie. Apparently, there's been a lot of disrespect at the studio level for Sly, and that is unfortunate and unacceptable to me. Because there would be no Creed without Rocky, and there is no Rocky without Sylvester Stallone. So I do fully support Sly in that situation. That being said, I went into Creed 3 ready to judge this movie on its own merits, and not base my opinion on all the outside noise around it. And honestly, I was not disappointed. Let's discuss.
I watch so you don't have to.
Before I get started, I'd like to kindly ask that you hit the like button, and please subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.
Go for it.
Creed 3 once again follows Adonis Creed, son of legendary Apollo Creed. In this entry, Adonis is thriving in both the boxing world and his personal life. But everything comes crashing down when Damien, a childhood friend, returns from a stint in prison, and he's eager to prove that he deserves his shot in the ring that he never got. I want to start this off by saying I have enjoyed all of the Creed movies for the most part. I think Creed was one of the rare instances where the passing of the torch trend you all know I hate actually worked. And the biggest reason for that is they didn't have to make the character of Rocky look like a buffoon in order to build up Creed. And that is very rare in modern Hollywood, and for that reason I appreciated it.
I like it a lot.
I remember when they were first talking about doing Creed 3. There was rumors that Jonathan Majors' character would have some kind of relation to Clubber Lang, the adversary from my personal favorite Rocky movie, Rocky 3, which I recently did a review for, so please go check that out if you have a chance. But I have to say I'm glad they didn't go that route trying to connect Damien to Clubber Lang. Not only would it have been a bit too on the nose, especially after we just had the son of Drago in the previous Creed movie, but by making Damien his own character and having him have a more personal connection to Adonis, it gave the movie a lift as it pertains to its emotional impact.
That makes sense.
What do I say almost every single time I go to watch a new movie in the theater and then come on here and do a review? Usually it's that I felt almost nothing while watching it. In fact, I have an entire rating tier dedicated to that type of movie because it happens so often. To me, a great or even good movie should make you feel something. And Creed 3 did just that for me.
I'm in a glass case of emotion!
You get the lows and highs that we've all come to expect from a Rocky/Creed franchise movie. I would even take it a step further and say, there are still parallels to be drawn between Creed 3 and Rocky 3's stories. One guy is on top of the world and ready to hang it up, because there's other things in his life now that have his attention. He's accomplished almost everything in the boxing world. And then you have this unknown up-and-comer who is hungry and wants what the other guy has.
Get out while you can! Don't get a sucker no statue! Give him guts!
It's simple yet effective storytelling. Is it a bit cliche? Sure, but if it's well done, it doesn't really matter. What Creed 3 does different, though, is have their relationship be more personal. Because Adonis starts to feel some type of way when Damien comes back into his life. Now he feels guilty over all his recent success. Because this once good friend of his went in a completely opposite direction in life. So now Adonis feels obligated to help him. And I have to say, Michael B. Jordan, who is perfect for this role by the way, portrayed a lot of those emotions and struggles in his performance brilliantly. As for Damien, even though he's not technically a full-blown villain in this, he's more of a victim of his own bad decisions. He comes off as very intimidating in this movie. He has a screen presence. To me, this is the Jonathan Majors performance this year that deserves more recognition, not what he did in Quantumania.
What the hell am I looking at? When does this happen in the movie?
But sometimes an actor is only as good as the material he is given. And he has much better material to work with in Creed 3. Because in this movie, his character has layers. He's not one-dimensional. He's nuanced. He's so layered that even though he's the quote-unquote villain, I definitely found myself sympathizing with his situation. And to me, that's the sign of a well-written character.
No! Layers!
I need to shout out the fight choreography as well, because this is some of the best fights I've seen in a boxing movie. Not only in the hard-hitting, fast-paced moments, but when they slow things down as well. They actually did a couple of new and interesting things visually with the fights in this movie as well. One involves a slow motion effect where we see firsthand how Adonis finds his opponent's weaknesses mid-fight and exploits them. The other was this almost dreamlike sequence that comes in the final fight, where because this issue between them is so personal, we see them kind of tune out all the noise of the big fight, and for a moment we see them fighting as if they are the only two people in the arena, with the weight of Damien's prison time hanging over both of them. It was actually very interesting visually and something I haven't seen in this franchise before. And if there's one thing I enjoy in movies, it's innovation. Don't get complacent and don't be afraid to try new things. Find new ways to tell me a story or deliver your message, and Creed 3 did just that with this moment.
Message!
Also, the use of music has always been great in this franchise, and Creed 3 continues that with a more modern hip-hop inspired vibe to it, which I enjoyed, and I enjoyed it even more when the movie begins with a flashback that features a remixed version of Dr. Dre's iconic The Watcher beat. It was just a great way to pull me personally into the movie almost immediately.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
One other thing I enjoyed was the family element to this story, something that I've been enjoying in movies more and more when it's there since becoming a dad myself. It's just cool to see Adonis with his daughter, bonding over her newfound interest in boxing. Also, there's a key emotional scene between Adonis and his mother that I think a lot of people would be hard-pressed to not feel something while watching it.
Why do you cry?
Creed 3, while standing on its own, still does manage to inspire a lot of the same reactions that the Rocky franchise used to do. Now, do I think Creed movies are as iconic as Rocky movies? No, I do not. But let's face it, not many movies are. But I think with Creed 3 specifically, it's definitely time to separate the two as an audience. And as I said early in this review, start to judge it on its own merits. Because to me, Creed 3 is everything you want a movie to be. In fact, I wish more people in Hollywood still made movies like this.
It's Hollywood, baby. Who knows what's gonna happen?
Movies that entertain us and inspire us, first and foremost. Get us wrapped up in these characters, as well as their conflicts and journey. Was Creed 3 a perfect movie? No. I did feel that some aspects of it felt a bit rushed and not fleshed out enough, like Damien's ascent or Creed's willingness to return to the ring. But truthfully, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you give me enough reasons to praise it, I can overlook all those nitpicks. I mean, that's exactly what happened with every single movie we watched growing up. And that's why we still love them to this day. Are they all perfect? No, but they do enough to entertain us and make us want to come back and revisit them.
Man, I'm tired of being right.
To me, Creed 3 might be the best movie in the Creed franchise. And I think a big reason for that is it doesn't rely on nostalgia. It doesn't need to lean on the legacy of Rocky anymore. Now we get to see Adonis standing on his own 2 feet and dealing with his own trials and tribulations. We are seeing Adonis's past and his past alone coming back to haunt him. We are seeing Adonis have to deal with his own personal physical and emotional demons. And credit goes to Michael B. Jordan, who does direct this movie, by the way, for making all that happen. Creed 3 was everything I love about movies, and that's why I'm going to give it the pleased Palpatine.
Good. Good.
Y'all be cool. Right on.